Hi, Phil Aston here from nowspinning.co.uk. This is another unboxing video, and this one is one that's been requested several times, and it's Black Sabbath's Vol4 Super Deluxe Edition. A bit like with Paranoid, I'm not just going to look at the box. I'm going to talk about how I first got introduced to this album and what my initial thoughts are, and I'm also going to show you my vinyl copy and also a couple of CD copies that I've got before I move on to the actual box itself. So my introduction to this album obviously was through the vinyl one, because I was almost there at the time. I say almost because the first Sabbath album I actually physically bought was Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which is still my favourite Sabbath album. But this one, Black Sabbath Vol4, with that iconic picture of Ozzy on the front, is the one that for many people is their favourite album. And I think really the Ozzy albums, a lot of people say, whichever one it is their favourite album. But one of the memories I've got of this record is I used to listen to the Alan Freeman show on a Saturday, which was his request show, and it was a doorway into a brand new world to me. And you've got to remember that this is like 1973. I'm 14 years of age, and someone requested on his show Tomorrow's Dream for their wife, and the first thing I thought of was, wow, married people like Black Sabbath. Now that might sound really strange to a lot of you youngsters watching this channel, thinking, well, my granddad likes Black Sabbath. But back then it was very difficult to imagine that that married people, grown-ups, liked Black Sabbath. It was felt like Sabbath were like a secret club in a way. I remember I used to go to a rock club at the called Sabbath Rock, actually, at the in Birmingham, and there was a guy there that was in his 30s, and I'm saying this because people used to say, do you see that guy over there? He's in his 30s and he still likes rock music. Because I think a lot of us back then thought that something was going to happen to us, and all of a sudden we'd be listening to Mantovani and James Last and turning to our parents. So there was a feeling that this kind of music, and let's remember, this is 1972. So what we now look at as 50 years of heavy metal or this genre of music was basically 24 months old. If you went back any further than that, it was not there. So let's have a look inside. So this is going to be, first of all, a look at my vinyl copy. So here it is, Black Sabbath Volume 4, my vinyl copy. It's on the WWA label. I know some people out there will say, it's not on Vertigo, but this is the first one that I bought. So this is the copy that I love and would never really want to part with at all. And that iconic picture of Ozzy still looks great on a t-shirt, even to this day. And when you open it up, you get a gatefold sleeve with album-sized pictures, and I always thought these photos were fantastic, with Geezer with his see-through bass, Ozzy with this mane of hair like a lion, and then the live shot across the middle from the Birmingham Town Hall. What it must have been like to be there. Black Sabbath written on the back of the cabinets there. Bill Ward playing drums with the drumsticks the other way round. Again, I thought a bit of a rebel. And Tony Iommi with his new haircut, looking very suave. And on this version, you've got the timings of the tracks as well. As I say, this is the WWA pressing album released in 1972. And I still play this. I just think it's wonderful. Next up is the version I got from 1996, which was the Essential Castle Records label, wasn't it, I think, with stored artwork and all that kind of stuff. I think what makes this one collectible, it sounds good. I'm not going to say it sounds okay. It sounds good for a CD from that period. There's a little essay on the back, and then you've got the lyrics, and then they replicate the booklet from the vinyl. But the key thing for why you'd want to probably keep this one is you get the lyrics in it as well. These were the albums with Henry, the symbol on them as well. And then there was another remaster, this one from 2009. This was in a digipack where they mimicked the Vertigo label on the inside. This has a different booklet with an interview with Bill, and some more. There's more memorabilia in this one, showing the different kind of single covers, and again the booklet from the vinyl, and the colour reproduction here is a bit better than the previous one as well. So that's also worthwhile, and I'm not getting rid of it. And that brings us on now to the box set. So after we've got the cellophane off, we take the lid off. It's the same shape and size and presentation as Paranoid. On the inside then there's this little leaflet that tells you what's on it, which I'm going to go into a bit more detail anyway. And you've got the book, and I'm going to do that last. You've got this poster, which I'll upload a photograph as I film this, because I haven't got enough space to actually show you the full thing here. But this was a poster that was never actually used. And then we get the CDs. The first one, now they're all variations on a theme on the cover work, again by the same photographer. Imagine that nearly all the photographs from Sabbath's period taken by the same guy from the same gig. And what they've done for each gatefold is they've used a different picture from the original vinyl. In some ways, it would have been nice to have them replicated it with little pages, but I guess what they're doing is trying to give something for each copy. So it's a standard little gatefold. The quality is pretty good, and then because I bought the American version on Rhino, they've mimicked the Warner's green colour for the actual album itself with the tracks. So this is the 2021 remaster, and it sounds brilliant. This one sounds sonically different to any other version of Black Sabbath Vol4 that I have ever heard. CD 2 is the outtakes and new mixes, and this one has Tony Iommi in it. Now this, you'll sometimes wonder with this kind of stuff whether you're only going to play these things once. But Stephen Wilson, Porcupine Tree and head of all things 5.1, although this isn't, it's just remixed, is absolutely stunning. It really is. You know, Wheels of Confusion, the Straighteners are called in the US, Changes, Supernaut, Snowblind, Laguna Sunrise, Under the Sun, which is instrumental here, slightly shorter. It's absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this. Absolutely brilliant production. CD 3 is alternative takes, full starts and studio stuff. I'm not going to play this one as much. This has got Wheels of Confusion, literally multiple takes, and Supernauts, different takes. But it's kind of, it's nice to have. Geezer's in the middle of this, but it's not the one I play the most. Which brings us to disc number 4, which is live in the UK. This is, majority of this is from past lives, but this is worth the entry point. The live stuff here, and it's being remixed by Richard Digby Smith, who I interviewed for Now Spinning, and the work he's done on this is the best sounding version of this track, this concert I've ever heard. It's absolutely so powerful, and again it's got the green Warner's colour. But this is just fantastic. Tomorrow's Dream, Sweet Leaf, War Pig, Snowblind, Killing Yourself to Live, and that is like an early version of that track. It's absolutely superb. Cornucopia, Wicked World, which is nearly 15 minutes long. Supernaut with the drum solo, Wicked World comes back, Embryo, Children of the Grave, and Paranoid. It is the best thing you're going to have to classic Sabbath live. Okay, so now let's look at the book. And this is, I think Record Collect said, a book that you could anchor a boat to. It's not that big, but it is good. Again, it replicates the pictures from the gatefold. And then you've got the Melody Maker essay from 1973. Lots of cuttings from the time as well. Posters from the time, UK press ads. I love this kind of stuff, as you know. Reviews from the time. As I say, more press ads, even more press ads. And I love this, and the tour guides as well. But I do think this has been put together with some passion and some interest for us, the fans. And there's lots of research. This is an Italian tour poster there. And here we go. Here's the unpublished US album ad, which is the poster you get with the box. They went on tour in 73 with Badger. That must have been interesting. A cassette there. See, they've done lots of research. Love it. Absolutely love it. And so lots to read. So I'm going through every page so that those of you who are sitting on the fence thinking, do I need this? Do I want this? Maybe this will help. So there's references to all the historical reviews and interviews from on one page here. That brilliant picture from Birmingham Town Hall. And then you've got all the different versions. So mine is from 1974, the WWA one. Of course, that's the one everyone aims for, but I love that. I love my copy. And then you've got some of the singles. Tomorrow's Dream, at the time, this doesn't sound like commercial, but I can see, should they have chosen changes? But that would have perhaps confused a potentially new audience. And this is a album from Portugal. And then you've got the credits. And then a few more live pictures. And we're out. So that's the box set, the two other CDs that are most recent remasters, although going back to the 90s, and my 1974 edition, the WWA version of the vinyl copy. So what do I think of the actual album itself? Well, Wheels of Confusion is such a great start, isn't it? And the opening line, long ago I wondered through my mind, I mean, a lot of us in the 70s were wandering through our minds. So I can fully relate to that. But again, the use of keyboards and the vision that Iommi and these young men were having, and you think that over a 2-year period, the progression from each Sabbath album. There's a review in the box, in the booklet, which says Sabbath know their limitations and they're not brilliant musicians. Who are they comparing them to? Yes, but even if they were comparing them to Yes, Sabbath were ploughing a different field. Bill Ward's jazz swing and his drums, and Geezer Butler's fantastic lyrics and his bass playing, and Ozzy's unique voice and Tony Iommi's riffs. We're talking maximum riffage here, aren't we? Especially a track like Supernaut. That has got to be one of the greatest riffs from the genre of heavy metal, and one of the best riffs that Iommi came up with. That sheer power of those, and again, listen to Stephen Wilson's remix of Supernaut. It is just amazing. It's just massive. It really is. Changes I've talked about before in my top 10 Aussie tracks, and it is just immaculate, and Geezer plays the mellotron on that. And Snowblind, of course. And don't you love on Snowblind when it comes towards the very end and the last guitar solo comes in and that kind of mellotron comes in? It's almost orchestral as it lifts the solo. It's just beautiful. But I guess the track that I love the most outside of Supernaut is actually Under the Sun, because it's so heavy. And when I say heavy, the bit at the end, when it gets slower and slower, It's one of those things where it's so heavy when you turn it up, and it gets lower and lower. It almost feels as if it must sound louder to the people that live downstairs, your parents in those days, than it did to you, as it must have been coming through the ceiling at them. It's so oppressive and so kind of doom laden, but it's a classic album, and I think all of the Sabbath albums, as we look back through the lens of time, are just unique moments, a unique classic, absolutely fantastic examples of the genre, really. And this is highly recommended, and if you're on the fence, as I said, the live one is just amazing, isn't it, mate? All the bands from the 70s were the 70s is known as the decade for the live double album, and it's such a shame that Sabbath didn't kind of capitalize on that period by releasing a proper live album. And the Live at Last tapes have been misused and badly released for decades, but this, thanks to Digby Smith and what the work he's done on this, is absolutely fantastic. So that is Black Sabbath Volume 4, and really looking at the different versions you get. If you can stretch yourself that far, go for the Super Deluxe Edition. The Rhino one is no different than the UK version, European version, apart from the fact it has the logo on. It's exactly the same inside, but the price difference is immense. I paid 50 odd quid for it from America through Amazon, and the UK alternative is about 75, 80 pounds. And I do think it's overpriced for what it is on that score, but for the 50 odd pounds I paid for it, and being a Black Sabbath fan, it's good. So thank you for watching. I hope you found that illuminating for Sabbath, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for subscribing. Please share. And thanks to all my patrons, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.